In one of the most shocking moves of the offseason, the Green Bay Packers are trading. That's right, they are trading superstar wide receiver Davante Adams, who had been on the franchise tag for first and second round picks in this upcoming 2022 NFL draft. Joining me now from Locked On Raiders, it's your boy Q. And Q, you and I have been talking on and off mic about a potential Davante Adams to Raiders trade for weeks. I don't know that either of us thought it was actually going to happen. I'll speak for myself. I did not think it was. What was your initial reaction when you saw this trade?
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I mean, look, I have been talking about it would be a good thing if the Raiders just went ahead and swung for the fences, and why not? Go all in. Do like Tampa Bay. Go all in. Do like the Rams. But, you know, a lot of that's what I thought would have been a good idea, but I don't know how smart of front office moves it would be for a new regime. And then all of a sudden, it became a reality. And all of a sudden, when the news rolled out that was something, I'll tell you, man, it was one of those moments where I'm still I'm just kind of like amped because of it. It's like, wow, the Raiders are really getting a nice toy. I mean, that's one of those, you get something in life that you don't think you can achieve. The Raiders just got something that I don't think that they even thought that they can get. And honestly, I said this before, this is Derek Carr's best wide receiver he's played with since he's been in the league since Davante Adams when he played with him at Fresno State. Simple.
And apparently that was part of the calculation here. Ian Rappaport saying very, very late on Thursday night that Davante Adams' agents confirmed that Davante wanted to play in Las Vegas for the Raiders. He grew up in the Bay Area, and this was a lifelong dream for him to play with the Raiders. At the time, right. Probably the Oakland Raiders. They are, of course, now in Las Vegas. But so this was a mutual parting of the ways. This AFC West, though, Q, it is crazy loaded. How do you think this changes the Raiders' outlook for 2022?
I just think it evens the playing field. I mean, I really do. I think that, and I'll go out there on a limb and say this, I don't think that Kansas City wins the AFC West this year. You know, and that's not because they're going to be a bad team. I just think it's going to be because this AFC West is going to beat up on each other, you know, and I think that there might be 3 teams that make the playoffs. You never know. You know, all these teams are loaded. All these teams have a ton of talent. Now, you don't win championships and division titles in March. You don't. We get that. If so, Washington would be a winner all the time. You know, the Raiders would have won plenty of times. You know, the Cowboys would have won. But that's not when it happens. It happens on the field. And so they've got to make this work. And I mean, every team in the AFC West. But, man, if you want to talk about, you know, where's the weaknesses? You know, you can find a little hole here, a little hole there on each team, but you could also find a lot of things that'll cover up those weaknesses on each team. So I'm telling you, man, Davante Adams is just even the playing field for the Raiders. That trade is just as big, in my opinion, as Russell Wilson to Denver, even though he's a quarterback. I think it's the same thing. You know, Russell Wilson's the number one. Davante Adams is a true number one. I mean, it's just there's all kind of it's a lot of things to like. I'm excited about the season, and we're only in March.
How do you think this dovetails with some of the other moves that they made? I mean, Chandler Jones in the building now. The Raiders have brought in some corners to bolster a passing defense that had some issues under Gus Bradley. Also, a new coaching staff entirely. How do you think Davante fits with essentially the worldview of this Raiders offseason?
Well, I think that the world now is going to realize that the Raiders are here to play, you know, that they really want to go out there and put their best foot forward. I think really this move sent a great message to Raider Nation, because I'll tell you, as a guy who covers the Raiders like a glove, hosts a radio show for Raider fans, there's a large group of fans that thought that this was a rebuild. Josh McDaniels was coming in here to tear everything down and build it back up. Chandler Jones is not a rebuild. Davante Adams sure is not a rebuild. I mean, you're not rebuilding if you go make moves for those kind of guys. So I think it set the message loud and clear to the fan base. I think it set the message loud and clear to the NFL and everyone. Hey, the Raiders are serious about this. That last year appearance in the playoffs, that wasn't a one-off type situation. They want to go back and be repeat offenders there in the playoffs. So I'm excited about the moves, and I think that Raider Nation is as well.